All right, good morning. Sunday, the 5th of September 2021, and that means it's time for Caffeine and Octane. Here is the first classic, the car I drove up in today. Here's my 83 Mustang. It does get shown occasionally, but you gotta get up pretty early to do that, so we're just gonna park it here in the lot. There's a cute pup. And head on down to Caffeine and Octane. This happens the first Sunday of every month, normally in Dunwoody, Georgia, at the Perimeter Mall. And they're nice enough to let us take a big chunk of the mall. It used to be the front of the mall. Now we've moved to the back of the mall. We've been banished to the back of the mall. But in any case, still a huge show. I believe it's the largest regular car show in the country that happens, on a regular basis. Try not to fall down the stairs. There's some poop. Try not to film that either. A lot of people poop in stairwells. People are going to step on it. Look at all this dirt. You could have pooped over here in the dirt. But no, I got to poop on the stairs. Okay, I'm going to try to watch the stairs and try to film something at the same time. There's a bird's nest on the stairs. All right, now that I understand. Anyway, so here we are. We'll just walk up and down the rows. Here's a nice GTO for you. Fun to see all the cars pulling in. Caffeine and Octane. Caffeine and Octane's interesting. It's really fairly non-commercial. You don't have to pay to get in. They've been putting in more food vendors, food trucks, that kind of thing. You can buy licensed Caffeine and Octane merchandise. But like I said, they don't charge for admission, and it's pretty amazing. They can do this every month and keep it a free event. They do it by getting sponsorship from dealers who take space in the lot, and I don't know, they have other ways that they make some cash doing this, but basically it's just walk in and check it out. Sometimes people will be in these themed areas where you'll see a certain kind of car or something else that connects the vehicles together. In general, this is just an area where you'll see older cars, 60s and before, but like I said, you just pull up here. It's also free to show your car, and you literally just drive up and park it, so you'll find a mix of stuff, as you always do. I tend to see a lot of the same cars over and over again, and that's pretty cool that people continually participate in Caffeine and Octane. Alright, it's hard to kind of narrate a video and enjoy the show. Maybe I'm doing myself a disservice. People are trying to sell vehicles here often. Here's a 77 Bronco for sale. And those are commanding some big bucks there. Look at this guy. I've seen it before. This rat rod here. But it makes it to the show every month, so must be doing something right. This is very nice. 64 Falcon. Of course, the Mustang originated as a Falcon. Was basically a Falcon underneath. And this one has a whole story behind it. Look at that. $2,800 when it was new. And there's some depressing part here where I guess the original owner was killed in an accident in another car. How about that? And they kept the car as a tribute to the high school graduation. College student was killed. I guess this was her car. And it's just been looked after ever since. It is hard to find stock cars that haven't been messed with, changed around. And this one looks pretty stock still. Very nice. And then parked right next to a mid-70s T-Bird that nobody really cares about. Hey, it's here. It made it. I'll give it a little screen time. Alright, some older trucks here. That's me and my buddy Bill, who had a 79 F-150 with 3 on the tree. Most people don't know what that is. A stick shift on the steering column. Nice Mustang Fastback, 68. So many of these cars have just got crazy expensive. Mustang Fastbacks being one of them because they're just beautiful cars. I see this guy's car here, very clean. Dressed up the engine, beefed up the wheels. Nice 65 Mustang convertible. Once again, getting some big bucks for those these days. Not the good old days. Pick something up like that for $5,000. Those days are long gone. I like a brown car. There's a 442 Oldsmobile in beautiful mocha brown. And of course, you're always going to see a DeLorean. Yeah, this one looks pretty stock. Always going to get a lot of attention with a DeLorean. Keep threatening to make new ones. See if that ever happens. They've been doing it for about 15 years. There's a company that owns all the spare parts from the DeLorean factory in Ireland, and they keep threatening that they're going to make a new DeLorean someday. Another nice 65 convertible. As you know, I am a fan of the Mustang. I owned a 66 convertible in college and an 86 Mustang GT when I lived in LA after that. Had a lot of problems with that car, actually. I'm surprised I'm driving an 83 now, because the 86 really was a fun car, but a lot of trouble. It's funny, the car was maybe 7 years old at the time when I owned it, and today I think you wouldn't think twice about owning a 7-year-old car. I think my Volvo's almost 5 years old now, but back then a 7-year-old car was like, ready for the junkyard. So I had a lot of repairs I had to do on that 86 hatchback Mustang.
Roadside assistance.
I was happy to get rid of it. But I love my 83. 83's been a really good car so far. Jags. They usually do a theme on each Caffeine and Octane. I have no idea what the theme is today. I believe it was Supras and Super Sports. Not really sure what those things have to do with each other. This Cobra here. Of course, most of these are replicas, as I'm sure this is. Otherwise, it would be worth 7 figures. Very nice right here. Nice and clean. It's the Biscayne. Parked right in front of course, a new Bentley. As you do. These guys are here a lot. JDM, which is Japanese domestic market, means you're going to see cars with steering wheels on the wrong side, and they're usually very, very small. These things called K cars in Japan, which are like a special class of car that can only have a very small engine. Not a lot of power. That's what some of these things are. Here's just something you would never see here. How about that? A dump truck. Anybody need one of these? Go crazy. Couple nice early 70s, late 60s Corvettes. Our neighbor had one of these. Good old Frida. Had a gray one. Nice looking car. There's another one here. I think I've seen this one before. It's green with a green interior. Don't see much of that these days.
$16,000.
In fact, I think this one was restored from a wreck. I've seen the original pictures. Hey! Hard not to bump into someone. Free coffee and donuts if you get here early enough. One of the local dealerships. The donuts go fast. Here we are, right on the subway line, whatever that thing is called. MARTA. Very clean SS here. Super shiny paint. It's a very sparkly car. Always see some lowriders here. Always see lots of doggies here. That big boy. Another SS. Oh, there you go. There's your super sports for the day. There's the super long line for the porta potty. There you go. Starsky and Hutch made an appearance, as they often will. Believe it or not, the original cars that Ford put out with this Starsky and Hutch stripe pattern were white cars. And then they were masked off and all the red stuff was painted in, but they began as